Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm Heels Good Dan, and I would like to welcome you to the next series on my channel, which is Into a Dream. At this point, I will be diving into mental illnesses, starting with depression, but before I go into that, can we all just appreciate this music for a second? Gorgeous! Alright, now I'm going to introduce the game. So according to the game summary on Steam for Into a Dream, you are his last hope, the only one who can rescue him. Delve deep into the dreams of Luke Williams, a man diagnosed with depression. Unfold the heartbreaking story of his life and prevent him from fading away. But seriously, tell me this music is not the most beautiful thing you have heard today. It is absolutely incredible. So as you can see by the game summary, we are going to be talking about depression, which sets up this series quite nicely, and the summary also helps to give you some insight about what the game is about. I regret not doing it for the last game, but we live and we learn. Before I launch the game, I want to define what mental illness and what depression are. So mental illnesses are characterized by changes in thinking, mood, or behavior associated with significant distress and impaired functioning. Now, depression is more complex because there are many different versions of it. I hope to tackle a majority of them throughout the series, but in this video specifically, I will be focusing on major depressive disorder, or MDD. So throughout this video, you may hear me say MDD probably 100 million times, and that just means major depressive disorder. And this is a common and serious medical illness that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. It affects how you feel, how you think, how you behave, and it can lead to a variety of emotional, psychological, and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and sometimes you may feel as if life isn't worth living. Alright, now that I have given you a brief introduction / background about what mental illness and what MDD are, I'm not going to waste any more of your time, and we are going to get right into it. So, without further ado, let's go on this journey together.
What is this place? Where am I? It's so green.
Everyone rejoiced as they realized that Dan does not have to do the voice acting for this game. Yeah, I know you're happy about it. Don't lie to me. I don't lie to me. I tried it out last game, okay? It was interesting, to say the least. But you know what? I tried.
This cliff doesn't seem to be that high. I guess there might be a way for me to go up easily. I hope so. This cliff doesn't seem... I guess there might... I hope so.
Now, depression in general, not just specifically to MDD, isn't something that someone can simply snap out of. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's a weakness. I'm not going to sprint just because I don't want to go through the game too quickly and miss something. And let's be real, look how beautiful this game is.
Oh, great. A river. And I'm not the best swimmer. Oh, seriously. I hate water. Oh, seriously.
You can have depression and still be a functioning person in society if you manage it properly. You can still have a completely normal life. It's just when you have periods of low, they're very low, and that may last long, and it might be more often and longer than just an average bad day, and that is okay.
A radio? Oh, there's no signal here. It also seems to read those old cassettes, but there's none inside.
Alright, let's get into the signs and symptoms of MDD. I'm just going to keep saying MDD purely because it's too long to keep repeating major depressive disorder. If you want, keep a tally. Maybe it'll make the video even more interesting. Never mind, there's a bunch of story development. We will talk about the signs and symptoms in a moment.
This is Dr. Colame.
Hello, John.
If you are hearing this, it means that the initial procedure went perfectly.
We have linked your mind to the dream of a man named Luke Williams. As for your body, it is being kept safe, here, close to us.
Luke has been diagnosed with severe depression. We have attempted several incursions into his dreams, but he has always detected our presence, gleaned our intentions, and evaded us. The roots of his current state of depression are buried quite deep.
This is where you come in, John. You see, you volunteered to help us with this one. We need to remind you that your own memories are inaccessible during the entire operation. It means that you won't remember who you are, nor recall these events after it all ends. But whatever you do or do not remember, know this. We accepted your offer because you are the best in the field.
John, your job is to track Luke and liberate him from whatever oppressive thought is weighing down on him.
Set him free, John. You don't have much time. The longer he stays under, the easier it will be for him to fade away.
Time to get to work, John. You are his last hope.
And his only one. I would wish you luck, but I doubt you need any of it.
We'll be monitoring you closely and retract you instantly if the situation spirals out of control.
One last thing. We will be out of contact for the duration of your mission. The technology is not quite fully mature yet.
Right then. See you in a couple of hours.
What? What's happening here? What are you talking about? Wait, what in God's name is going on? Whoa!
Now, the signs and symptoms for MDD are quite extensive, and they can look different from person to person, and even different between the age groups. For example, MDD in a child or an adolescent would look very different from MDD in the elderly.
Hello.
Oh, good evening.
Isn't it a little late for someone your age to be out all alone?
Oh, our house is right over there. And you know, there are no dangerous creatures, not in these woods. No wolves, bears, or even foxes. And my dad is right there at the porch.
Oh, I didn't know anyone lived this deep in the woods.
Oh, but we don't. This is our vacation house. Mom and Dad built it a couple of years ago. I love it out here, but I had no idea there were other houses around. Where is yours?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about this character. Let's just say I don't live here. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't live here. I'm on a hike.
Oh, cool. All by yourself?
All by myself.
Where's your equipment?
Oh, my tent's 10 minutes away. I was just exploring.
I so wish to grow up so I can have fun adventures like yours.
Well, what about you? What are you doing here, all alone, sitting on this wooden swing?
Oh, you know, I love sitting here. My daddy and I built it. He attached these ropes to a branch on this tree and told me to find a wooden seat. I found this one by the waterfall. It fit perfectly. It was such a fun weekend. I love building stuff with my dad, and this is my favorite construction.
Well, congratulations. You did a wonderful job. It really looks well built and fun.
Thanks.
So, you're just watching the stars on your spot?
Yes. Well, and you know, waiting for Rufus.
Rufus?
Yes, you know, my dog. My parents gave him for Christmas 2 years ago. He's so lovely, little, and energetic.
Oh, and where's Rufus now?
Oh, he sometimes wanders off by himself in the woods. You know, these woods are very, very safe. We put some lights around his collar, so he got even more excited than usual.
Aren't you worried he might get lost?
No! I mean, maybe a little. It's been more than an hour, I think. Can I ask you a big favor? Could you please get him back here if you happen to see him?
I'll find your dog, no worries.
Of course.
Oh, thank you. I'm really getting worried now. He responds very well to his name, Rufus. You know, I picked it when he was still a little puppy.
Well, I thought Rufus was unique, but okay.
You picked a great name for him. Well, I'm going to continue my night hike and I'll find your dog.
Thanks.
Ah, this guy must be her dad.
Hello, neighbor.
Oh, hello there. Sorry. I haven't seen anyone hereabouts in a while. You gave me quite a scare there.
Oh, sorry about that. And for coming out of nowhere straight from the dark. I'm John Stevens.
We're hiking, I think.
I was just taking a night stroll in the wilderness when I spotted some bright lights ahead. I couldn't help checking them out. I wasn't aware anyone lived here.
Ah, well, this is our country house, so to speak. We live in the city, but often come here on weekends and holidays. It's quite peaceful.
Oh, indeed.
I'm Luke, by the way. Luke Williams.
Nice to meet you, Luke. Is that your daughter?
Yes, that's Anne. She's always up late playing with that little devil.
Little devil?
That's what we call our dog. He simply loves the woods and Anne loves playing with him out here, so we just let her play on until late.
I see. Aren't you afraid she might get injured or something?
Well, kids should be able to fall, get some bruises and have fun in the wild. And this neck of the woods is as calm and uneventful as you would like. And besides, we can't protect our kids forever. Although as parents we always try to. They're part of us, aren't they? Do you have children?
No, I don't. I guess the opportunity never arose.
It still might. Anyway, where are you staying? In a tent?
Yes, it's about a quarter of an hour from here. I'm staying for a couple of days. I intend to just do some walking in the woods.
Right then. Well, if you need anything, food, medicine, or just company, drop in anytime. You know where we are.
You're so kind, Luke. I'll probably pass here to say hello a couple of times. See you later.
Alright, now I think I can introduce the signs and symptoms. Now, these signs and symptoms are for adults and include, but are not limited to, depressed or agitated or irritable mood, loss of pleasure or interest in previously enjoyed activities, reduced appetite, weight loss or increased appetite and weight gain, insomnia, which is the inability to sleep, or hypersomnia, which is being sleepy all the time, fatigue, essentially being tired or loss of energy, feelings of despair, helplessness, worthlessness, or guilt, difficulty thinking or concentrating, frequent or reoccurring thoughts of death, suicide, and making suicidal attempts. This can even include self-harming behaviors. Now, to be considered for an MDD diagnosis, you need to be experiencing at least 5 or more of these signs and symptoms over a 2-week period. And 1 or 2 of these symptoms must be a depressed mood and or loss of enjoyment or pleasure in previously enjoyed activities.
My, that is a huge waterfall. It's indeed beautiful, but the noise this close is slightly unpleasant. What amazes me the most is its power. I could stay here forever watching the water flow. Well, I should get some earplugs first, though. Now it's getting a little excessive. Is Luke the one who paralyzed me here? Does he already know that I'm after him? And is trying to make me give up? Because if he is, kudos to him. Well, it could be worse. At least I have a magnificent view, as the internal bleeding in my ears leads me to death or insanity.
I love how this game is like making fun of itself, because it put a dialogue of the player saying that there's more, hey, click this, and then the character ends up just getting annoyed. A good way to remember the signs and symptoms is to use the acronym SIGI caps. So S would be sleep changes, increased during day or decreased at night. I is interest, so that is a loss of interest. G is guilt or worthlessness. We say guilt because otherwise it'd be SIWI caps, and that sounds silly. E is a lack of energy. C would be cognition or concentration, so difficulty concentrating. A is appetite, which is usually weight loss, but sometimes it could be weight gain. P is psychomotor, which is agitation or sluggish, so you're anxious or lethargic. And S would be suicidal ideation, so that is suicidal thoughts or suicidal attempts.
Water? Again? Well, at least I think this lake isn't deep enough for me to drown.
Another key point regarding the signs and symptoms is that MDD is a clinical diagnosis that you will have to get from a healthcare provider/psychiatrist. It's not self-diagnosed. I know a lot of the times people will say after they just broke up with someone or they just lost their job or failed a test that they're depressed, but that is not necessarily the case, although those can be risk factors, which I'll touch on in a bit. Rufus, what are you doing under the log, my friend?
Rufus, there you are. Oh, you're shaking. Come here, boy. Come here. Oh, you're really afraid of me, aren't you? Okay. How will I get you out of there? Uh-oh. This rock is very unstable. If it falls, I'll crush that little devil. Careful, John.
So most of the time, if not all the time, depression is caused by many different factors altogether, and we don't really know the exact reason why it happens. These causes include like stressful life events, which could look like someone being very sick, or they may have died. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities, maybe you lost your job, things like that. Other causes can be that you have learned the behavior, so this factor is known as psychodynamic/behavioral, I think, don't quote me on that, where you were not cared for early in life, so you were not loved or protected, and you turned it inward, and it became a learned behavior, where you just expect the worst, and you're more comfortable in a negative environment.
I really shouldn't leave without the dog. I need to explore this area. Think, John, think.
That leads me to poor thinking and a negative mindset, which are cognitive factors. You just believe everything sucks, you're angry, you are misunderstood, and you just see everything in a negative light. It could also come from an imbalance of chemicals and hormones, or these are biological factors. And this can look like low levels of serotonin, which is a hormone responsible primarily for regulating your emotions.
Where did the dog go? Wait a minute. I know this place. How did I get here? Did the dog? Oh, I hope he did.
And there can also be a social cause, which is like social isolation or family dysfunction. Maybe it looks like poverty or abuse, etc.
Oh, hello again. Look, this is Rufus. He came back. He was running so fast. He seemed scared. He almost didn't recognize me, but I yelled. He turned his head and he seemed so happy to see me. He always comes back.
And darling, I'm pretty sure that I found him, but you know what? It's fine. He came back on his own. Okay.
You know, I found your dog by the lake, close to the waterfall.
You did?
He most likely got lost, and the thundering sound of the fall must have scared him. He was below a rock of some sort, hiding from the noise.
Oh, poor Rufus.
I managed to get him out of his hiding place, but I guess I scared him too. Luckily, he found you while running away from me. I was so scared I would lose him. I'm sorry.
Sorry? You brought him back to me. You are so kind. I don't even know how to thank you.
Oh, it was nothing, really. I'm just glad you got back together. I have to get back now.
Will I see you again?
Who knows? Bye, Anne.
Alright, let's go talk to her dad.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, John. Great timing. I was about to call Anne back home and retreat.
Oh, you do that. I was on my way back to my tent.
Did you have a pleasant night hike?
Nah, I don't want to lie to him. I'm just going to tell him I found it.
Actually, I went looking for Rufus.
Rufus? Our dog, Rufus. Why?
Please don't get mad at Anne, but the poor guy got scared by the sound of the waterfall and was just paralyzed under a rock. I tracked him down and kind of brought him back.
I didn't know that. Why hasn't she told me?
She thought you would get mad.
I don't think I would. Imagine if you weren't around. What would happen to Rufus? Because she was afraid to talk to me?
Luke, don't take it that way. It's normal for kids to hide these problems from their parents.
I know you're right, but still, it could have been a big deal.
Don't think about it.
Well, are you thirsty?
Am I thirsty? Well, a little bit, but...
There's a jar of water in the table right in the hallway. Just open the door and take some. You saved Anne's dog, and you must be exhausted. Go on, I'll just stay here for a while longer.
Okay, I'll be right back. Thanks.
Now I'm going to cover the risk factors super quickly. So first, what is a risk factor? Risk factors are different criteria that increase an individual's chance of developing a condition.
Oh, darn, it's empty. Well, I better get back outside. Or could I explore a little? A family portrait. The faces are somewhat hard to distinguish, but they seem like a united and happy bunch.
Note that risk factors only increase the chances, they do not guarantee that you will develop a condition. In this case, of course, the condition is MDD.
I hear something. A heavy breathing. I shouldn't try to open this door. Sorry, Luke, but I need to see if I can find something useful. I'm doing this to help you. Ah, there's a piece of paper in this drawer.
We are leaving now. You know where to find us. When you are ready, take care.
So many books. A lot of classics out here. Oh, Les Miserables. Oh, how I loved it. Wait a minute. Rita Williams? Could it be Luke's wife?
Alright, so risk factors include a previous history of depression, family history of depression, previous suicide attempts, being female, postpartum period, constant or chronic physical or mental illnesses, poverty, work and or school stress, history of sexual abuse, substance use, negative mindset or attitude, being a part of the LGBTQ+ community, certain medications, etc.
What? It's daytime. Where are they? And the door has locked itself. What's happening here?
Finally, I'm going to cover the complications of MDD, which is essentially saying why depression is such a problem. So you may gain or lose excess weight, which can cause heart disease, diabetes in the case of weight gain, and malnutrition in the case of weight loss. You may also experience pain or physical illness. You may resort to substance abuse or have other mental illnesses like anxieties or panic disorders, work-life conflicts, relationship difficulties, social isolation, suicidal thoughts or even attempts, self-harm, premature death, etc. I am sorry to end on a sad note. You know what? Scratch that. No sad note. We're not ending on that. I want you to remember that you are not alone. There are people that care about you. You are worth it. Things can and will get better if you seek help, reach out for support, and you will it for yourself. There are many websites and phone numbers that you can contact for help. You can even go to a hospital if you are scared you are going to harm yourself or your mental health is getting so bad that it becomes unmanageable. Alright, with that, I am going to end this video. If you enjoyed the video and thought it was informative, feel free to like. If you did not like the content, feel free to dislike and leave a constructive comment. If you want to stick around for future videos, please feel free to subscribe. There's power in each choice that you make. Stay safe, stay hopeful, you're worth it, and thank you for watching. Take care.